goes. Hey. Hey. Hey.
Someone that's afraid to let go. You decide if you're ever gonna let me know. Yeah.
Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Abby and that was a really bad intro, but let's go. Okay, so in this video I kind of want to talk about my experience with my anxiety and how I what I learned from it and how I cope with it now, and how I want to
down here?
And how I want to help other kids and adults and teenagers, how I want to help other people, and that's just my main goal here. And when I'm done talking about all this anxiety stuff, hopefully I can maybe do vlogs. Sorry, I want to spin your chair. So the first panic attack I actually remember having was around Christmas time. I remember I was with my mom, and we were sitting by the Christmas tree, and I was sitting with my mom and sitting in her lap, you know, like any 6-year-old would, I guess. I don't know. I was just explaining to her how this boy was chasing me around at recess, but if you ever pull on your eyelid, you know, like that way, and then you flip your eyelid under, and how your eyelid kind of covers like your pupil and stuff, that's what he was doing, and he was chasing after me, and it really scared me actually. So I was talking to my mom, I was telling her about it, and then she actually got me like therapy sessions. I went to a therapist. And my therapist was so nice. She had actually worked with my older sisters, and so we knew her. My mom knew her very well, and she trusted her, you know. And she was a really nice lady. She was so nice, and she really helped. I really don't remember the sessions at all. I don't really remember going there. I remember what the office looks like, but I don't remember going there. The only therapy session I remember with her was my very last one when I was 6. And that one, we went in this, it was like a playroom. This playroom she had. When you walk in the door, there was a sandbox right in the middle of the room. And then on the wall, there was like this big wall of older board games that I'd never seen before. Then over on this wall there was a doll house with all these dolls, which I loved. And then there were kind of dress-up clothes. There was a whole wall for dress-up clothes. It was like a really calming room, a really relaxing room, and I really loved it. That day I chose the sandbox. So I went to the sandbox, and she was talking to me and asking me questions like, am I better? Have these anxiety panic attacks gone away, or are they still happening? Do you feel better, you know? And I really don't remember my answers. I think I did feel better, but I don't remember how I actually felt, you know? I think at this point I was just really tired of talking about it, because for some reason it was something that was kind of embarrassing to talk about, and it was weird to talk about for me, and it was something I wasn't really used to opening up about. It was, yeah, so I just remember in this sandbox just, you know, kind of like, yeah, yep, and that's really all I remember from those sessions. But from the age I was 6 up until I was 10, I was having no more panic attacks, no anxiety freakouts, whatever you want to call them. I wasn't having them from ages like 7 probably actually until I was 10. So when I was 10, I remember this day. I remember the day I got a panic attack again. I remember it. I don't know why I do, but I was in my mom's bedroom and I had her TV on, my mom and dad's bedroom. I had their TV on, and I had a notebook with me, and I had this blue marker. I don't know how I remember it's blue. Blue marker. And I was drawing smiley faces. And I started to get really, really nervous, and like my shoulders, you know, kind of got this like tension in them, and my heart started to race, and my palms got really sweaty, and my stomach felt weird, you know? And so I was really, really nervous, and I didn't know why. And so I went downstairs and I said, Mom, I'm having a panic attack. And she goes, you are? I'm like, yeah. And so we just kind of, not let it go, but I got over that panic attack, and then I don't remember having one for like another week or two, and then I started having them consistently again, almost every day. And things that I worried about were throwing up. Whenever my stomach would hurt, I would just freak. A panic attack would just like control me. Like I could not breathe. I was crying hysterically. Like it was just like. Another thing I was afraid of was trying new foods. I would not try a new food, not at all, because I was scared that something in that new food would make me sick, and I was not having it. But those are the only two things that really bothered me. You know, like everything else I was actually fine with. It was just like the vomit and trying new foods. And so we tried to go back to this therapist that I went to when I was 6, and you know, I thought I was better, and then same thing happened. I got these panic attacks again. And so my therapist told my mom about this like thing that was an hour away from home that I could go to on Saturdays, and it was like this, it wasn't a camp, but it was just like a group therapy session. And she told me and my mom about it, and so my mom was like, I think that's gonna help. And so she, you know, she called and got me signed up, I don't know, for this thing. And yeah, and so then I started going to this group therapy session. And I remember my first one, I walked in, and there's these very nice people that worked there. They walked me to this room with a bunch of other kids in there. I only remember 2 of the kids that were there, but I know there was more than that because the table was almost full. But they were going over things that they had learned. They had this whiteboard where they talked about, you know, fear, and each letter had something different that it resembled. I'll go get the packet, 1 second. Okay, so I got the books, and so there was a parent one that they gave my mom. My mom was usually the one that went with me, but they gave one to my mom, and they also gave me one. So for the fear plan, F means what am I feeling, or am I feeling frightened? I'm feeling nervous. Why am I feeling nervous? There's a monster under my bed, or I'm scared that I'm going to be kidnapped, or whatever it is. Just ask yourself how you're feeling and why you think you're feeling it. And it actually does, it helps a lot. E is what are you expecting to happen? I'm expecting to throw up. I'm expecting to have a monster under my bed. I'm expecting to be kidnapped in my sleep, whatever it is, whatever. A is what attitudes or actions can I do to help? One thing that actually really helped me was distracting myself. So if I was having a panic attack, say that there was a whiteboard in front of me, I could open the marker and I could just start drawing, or you know, or you could just do, or I know Fortnite is a big thing now, so maybe you could play Fortnite if you're feeling nervous, whatever. And R, which is the last step, is results and rewards. So I actually remember I had a mason jar, and I would fill it up with marbles, and then I would get a reward. So say that I was having a panic attack at school, but I didn't call my mom from the school saying, Mom, I'm having a panic attack, I need you to help me out here. Then I would get a marble, and when the marble jar was full, I got a reward. That is the fear plan, and I really recommend you try it if you haven't. Another thing, I think I forgot to mention this, but another thing that I was really, really scared of was wearing different clothes. I wore the same 2 shirts every day. There was a pink and white striped shirt, and then there was this blue tank top that I got. In one of my therapy sessions with this therapy group, so I had to bring a few items from my closet that I never wear, and I had to bring them with me to this therapy session. I brought like this big paper bag full of clothes, and expecting just to like have to like wear it and then I could take it off, and I was fine with that. I really wasn't that nervous about it. So then the lady says, okay, can you pick one item and put it on? One item that you're really, really, really nervous to wear, put that one on. So I picked a very old, it was one of those dresses that, you know, you like your American Girl doll gets one and then you get one. It was one of those. So I put one of those on. She made me wear it for my whole session. And then at the end of the session, she said, okay, you're gonna wear that home. You're gonna wear that dress home, the whole car ride. And I remember I cried like crazy. I cried for so long. I went on the floor and I was crying. It was just like this big ordeal. She was like, wear it, it will help, it's gonna help you. And then I was like, Mom, I don't want to do this, and my mom made me do it too. So it was like I had no choice, and so we left, and I wore it on the way home, and I was still having this panic attack. I was like, you know, pulling on it, you know, like kind of like this, you know, pulling on like just pulling on everything. I just didn't like it. Didn't want to wear it. So I got home and I ran to my room and I changed out of that dress. And I got a marble because I wore that dress home. I did it. I wore it for probably an hour and a half total, 2 hours maybe. But like that might not seem like a big thing to you, but for what I was going through, it was a huge step. It was huge. It was great that I was able to do that, and it was really exciting. And so I got a marble. Eventually, it just, when I did that, when I would say, you know, I want to get a marble, I'm gonna wear this shirt for this long today. And then I would wear that shirt, I would time it, and then I would take it off and I would say, Mom, I wore this shirt for this long. She would give me a marble and I would put it in my marble jar. So when that therapy group was over, they had me go to another therapist because I was still having these panic attacks, but it wasn't at the point where I had to keep going to these therapy sessions. It had gotten so much better, which was really great because, you know, like just like you're conquering your fear. And this therapist, he was the most awesome man I've ever met in my entire life. He had these really cool ties. They were so cool. So cool. So cool. He would have pink ones, he would have purple ones, blue ones, like rainbow. It was great. The best therapist. So he prescribed me a medication. It was a really low dose, and I just tried it for about a month maybe. I don't know. And I tried it, and I remember the first day I took it, I woke up, my medicine was sitting out. And so I grabbed one. I only had to take one. I grabbed it, and I grabbed water, and I put some water in my mouth, and then I put the pill in my mouth. I was scared to swallow it, and I didn't know how to swallow it, and so I swallowed all the water, but the medication, the pill, was like dissolving in my mouth. So by the time I had finished all my water, the pill was gone. Like I was like, I took that medication for a while, and then he gave me a higher dose because I was still having these panic attacks. So I took those until like earlier this year, late last year, and they really, really helped. The reason I stopped taking them was because I just wasn't getting these panic attacks anymore. It wasn't all the medication that was helping me, it was these coping thoughts. The fear plan was really, really helpful. First, find friends that can understand, not even understand, but just respect you. And always respect people that are having a hard time with, whether it's like this or if it's something not as bad or something worse than anxiety, whatever, but always respect people, because it's what some people go through. It's so rough, you know, and it's, yeah. And never make fun of, you know, if someone's like having a panic attack, like they're saying like, I don't want to go in the basement because it's dark and it's just giving me anxiety. Don't be like, oh my god, come on, it's just the dark. Or, why are you such a baby? You know, like, just respect that and just say, okay, that's okay. And then either, like, if everybody else, like, if you're with a group of people and everybody else is going down the stairs, stay with the person that doesn't want to go downstairs so they don't feel like they have to go. Even if you really want to go, just be like, you know what, guys, I don't want to go either. Because knowing that they have a friend that will do that with them is so nice. So, yeah. That was my first video on YouTube. I hope it was helpful. Comment down below any questions you have. Like this video, subscribe. Thank you guys. Bye guys.